Welcome to week 2. It was raining, so I almost had to do another sitting video, but it stopped. But I am posting this a little bit late because of that. Thanks for introducing yourselves on that discussion board. I'm not going to respond to each one, but it was good to get to know you. Yeah, as far as what did I see on the graded discussion board, most of you wanted to talk about Naskapi. There were some other interesting posts though. For example, Triton talked about how appeasing the gods seems to be one of the main concerns of most of these American religions. That's definitely true of some of them. Aztec and Maya and others that will even do human sacrifices, right? So appeasing the gods is a big deal. I actually just watched a documentary recently. It was about different flood narratives in different cultures, and one of them that came up in Mayan, I believe it was, a Mayan story is that at one point they did a huge human sacrifice. It might have been the biggest in their history, basically because there was a huge El Nino that had caused a massive flood, basically. So, okay. Anyway, but most of you wanted to talk about Naskapi. So Naskapi, up there in Canada-ish, right? And yeah, they believe not everything. They believe a lot of things have souls, right? The wind, the weather, the trees, animals, of course. And obviously that would affect how they live quite a bit, right? So there were some good posts describing that. Kennedy, Travis, Grant, others did a good job explaining it. Yeah, so how would that affect your daily life? I mean, just think about what a soul would be. A soul is a thinking kind of thing that has desires and intentions and makes decisions, and that's a soul, right? So if you think the wind is that kind of thing, yeah, that would definitely affect how you live, right? That's why the shaman are so important, right? Because if they can change the decisions of the wind, yeah, obviously it would affect hunting and when you cut down a tree, and so forth, right? You need to be very respectful not to offend any of those souls. And maybe even sometimes they'll give you guidance. I'm not really sure why animals would help guide your hunt, but that was one of their beliefs. But yeah, a lot of respect, make sure to use resources well because everything's really weighty, right? Yeah. All right, let's look forward to next week. We're going to do Hinduism and Buddhism, right? They're related religions. And Buddhism kind of emerged out of Hinduism. Effectively, the Buddha was Hindu originally, except he was not satisfied with, he just never found release from suffering, basically. So what did he do? Well, you're going to have to read the story of how he ended up under a tree and enlightened, right? But in general, yeah, it kind of all emerged out of Hinduism. They both believe in reincarnation. In both cases, well, in Hinduism, there are many gods, but they're all kind of part of one universal soul, Brahman. And so it's kind of has hints of monotheism, but also polytheistic. Buddhism is definitely not monotheistic, and whether the gods exist is kind of irrelevant. Really, it's a way to enlightenment, and there are different forms of both of them. There are different forms, but especially for Buddhism, we'll talk about different forms. Okay, so that's enough to kind of get you started thinking about it, and I look forward to seeing how things go this week. Oh, remember to do that reflection essay as well. I do actually enjoy reading those too.